You're watching the 2025 SCAC Fall Media Days. Today, we're taking a dive into the Lyon College football program. The Scots will once again be led as they head into the season. Guys, head coach Chris Douglas, along with leadership from seniors linebacker William Litton, defensive back Jacob Hutton, and defensive lineman Keidrick Wooten. And Coach Keidrick, Jacob, and William, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey, thank you.
Coach, we'll open up with you. It's an exciting season. It's an exciting time of the year. You've been building this program since 2020. And coming into this year, I know as we talked about so many positive things going on, not only with heading into year two in the SCAC, the introduction of an on-campus facility, but I'm just interested where you've seen the biggest growth with your program over these last few years, and just ultimately how pumped are you to be back at the start of a fresh season heading into 2025?
Yeah, sure. 5 years in, it's gone by in a blink. It's amazing how fast time can fly. I've graduated one, sending one to high school, one's in the middle of college now. So it's amazing how quick it turns. And thinking about some of those guys that we joined when we got here that were in the program. This is really my third time to do it. My first at Southwestern where I started, and then at McMurray in Illinois, and then to come here. What I found in those transition is those first few years, you have to take a lot more of a coach hands-on type of role to it. And once you get, and it depends from school to school and situation to situation, but as guys get more comfortable with you and they've been in the system for a good bit longer, then they start to echo a lot of what we're trying to accomplish culture-wise, and then those guys can lead even more. You know, we say in our program all the time with the coaching staff, coach fed, but player led. And so we have to continually reinforce what we're trying to accomplish and how we're going to do it. But it really, when the rubber meets the road, what's going to have the biggest impact is when their teammates, their peers, are really preaching that same message and can hold themselves and each other accountable. And I really feel like last year and this year we had some really strong groups. And I'm really excited about this group. Every year we've changed our dynamic and how we select these guys, and I need these guys to figure out what their name's going to be. You know, instead of just calling line leaders, what are they? But they're basically our leadership council. We've got half of them here today, and these guys will definitely take a very hands-on approach, but also a very balanced and more of a loving approach than just trying to rule with an iron fist or anything like this. This group has been around long enough and been around together that they understand what it takes, I think, to lead, but also what it takes for us to be successful. And if the guys are coming in, we'll continue just to jump in, as we say in our program, all in. We'll be just fine because we've got some really strong leaders here today.
William, coming into this season, I know it's a big year for you as one of the senior leaders, as Coach talks about, and being a part of this leadership group. So I'm interested with what your mindset is coming into this season. How do you expect to set the tone with this group, not only in practice, but also on game days as well?
Yes, sir. So I've always kind of been that lead by example guy. As I've gotten older, I've kind of gotten to the point where I'll say something if I need to. But I'm a big lead by example. I kind of get everybody on the same path. Something that Coach mentioned and that you've mentioned as well is our culture, kind of building that culture. That's been a big thing for me. I'm a firm believer that if you build a strong culture and you truly ingrain it within your teammates and everybody that's around you, then it's something that'll last for years beyond you. We always talk about leave it better than you found it. So just kind of setting that example and kind of those words of wisdom on the young guys to make this thing go in the right direction, in the direction that we've all worked for 4+ years to get to is something that's going to be really big for me. As far as kind of goals, I've been thinking about it a lot recently, and I don't really want to put limitations on us. We're a young team in a lot of respects. We have a lot of guys that can make plays, and I truly think, we have a banner in our facility that says the issue is us, not our opponent. So as much as we can focus on ourselves and get 1% better every day, I truly think that's going to be something that can propel us to where we want to be in the end goal. And truly the sky's the limit for us. Our destiny kind of runs through us, and it's something that's always going to be that way. So that's kind of where my head's at. But
Jacob, it's been cool to kind of watch your story as your career has developed, coming and arriving there on campus, sort of entering into the program as sort of an offensive player, and now making that adjustment, transitioning to the defensive side. And last year, really stepping into a big role with this group. You had a career high in terms of tackles and interception, a fumble recovery. And I'm just interested, Jacob, individually, what have you focused on this offseason to sort of build off of the success that you had last year, and how much confidence does that give you coming into this your senior year?
So this offseason, I've just been really working on my technique. I haven't been playing defense my whole career, so I've been having to get out there and work on the basics a lot more than most other guys in my position would. Like a back pedal wasn't near as natural whenever I started as it is now. But now that I'm going into my senior year, I finally got some of the fundamentals down more. So I feel like this year I'm going to be able to use my mental side of the game a little bit and be able to make some bigger plays this year.
Keidrick, it's fun to be back here again. I know last year we met at the same time, and I enjoy just hearing your excitement coming into this first season in the SCAC. And as someone who's been such a big part, especially from the leadership fold of this program of these last few years, coming into this camp, what are you looking forward to most? What are some things about Lyon football camp that maybe fans don't know about? Maybe are those tough moments in camp, but that you're really looking forward to coming into this last season as one of the leaders?
One of the most important things I believe is the introduction to your team, getting to know everybody first, learning all the different personalities and stuff like that. I think the things behind the scenes that people don't see outside of football is what matters the most with that team bonding and things of that nature. But nothing beats when you first put on the pads and you see what you're really working with. So I'm really looking forward to that and just getting back into the spirit of football, really. And I feel like that's what the fans miss out the most is when we get the first jitters out.
Coach, there's going to be a different buzz on campus this fall, a different noise on campus on Saturdays. As we've kind of mentioned it, but welcoming in the introduction of Bad Boy Moyer Stadium, the first on-campus facility for this football team to take the field and represent Lyon on campus there this year. I'm just interested from your standpoint, what does opening that stadium mean to this program, to the community, to the game day experience, and how excited are you to have been a part of this process and ultimately to open up this new facility heading into this season?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just kind of something that goes along with football. Friday night, you turn the lights on, the town shuts down, and everybody goes to the stadium. And for 10 years of football, we haven't had that. We've had Batesville High School, and that's been tremendous, and they've been amazing hosts. But, they have orange and black checkered end zones, and we have no orange in our color scheme whatsoever. Don't have black either. And so to have a home of our own, to call ours, a place as Under Armour used to always say, defend this house, a place that we can call ours and people are going to try to invade and we have to fight off. I think that is it gives more credibility to the program and more credibility in recruiting. And again, it's a place that we can call ours, but just the excitement of not, particularly for these guys that have been with us 4 and 5 years and myself being here for 5 years, just the excitement of the commitment that the college has made to make this happen, but also the commitment of the community. What a lot of people don't realize is only having football for 10 years in modern history, we don't have a depth of alumni that are going to go out and organize and raise a bunch of money and say, hey, we got to do this. Our alumni are young, married, have 2 kids, and paying off student loans. Like they have no disposable income to give anything to a stadium project. Now, we will soon be asking them for future gifts, that's for sure, but this has really been community driven. About 90% of our fundraising has happened through banks and businesses here in town that really believe, one, in Lyon College, and Batesville supporting Lyon College, but also believe in our student athletes and believe in our athletics program. I think that's huge. It's just a huge testimony, and it gives me a sense of really pride and also just humbleness to be a part of that, to be kind of steering the ship as we're getting a chance to do this. I always brag on my resume. I've been 3 places and we've been able to build 3 weight rooms. Well, that means nothing now. We're building a stadium. And so we're just super excited to be able to have a place that we can call ours and defend a place that we call ours.
William, you're coming off of an outstanding campaign last year as a junior. Honorable mention All SCAC. You were second on your team in terms of tackles. And I'm just interested when you go through a season like that, what does that do for your individual confidence? And, individually, what are some of the goals that you've kind of set for yourself coming into this your senior year?
So, I mean, a lot of people don't know it, but last year I was actually battling through a sports hernia. We didn't know what it was for the longest time. So last year, for a lot of the season, I wasn't honestly able to run. It felt like I was getting stabbed in my lower abdomen every time I would take on a block or do anything like that, move the wrong way. And we were kind of joking before this. I felt like an old man getting out of bed every Sunday. So I don't really know where the limit is for me. This is also the first year that I'm going to be playing the same position. I've kind of been the Swiss Army knife on defense for a lot of my time at Lyon. So this is the second time I'll be able to actually kind of be in that same role and kind of know what I'm expecting to do and kind of being in a groove in a sense. For me, I mean, it's kind of like the season. I don't like to set boundaries for myself. For me, I go out there, I put my best foot forward, and kind of see where the chips fall. So personally, I don't have any records or goals that I'm chasing. I mean, it would be nice to break the tackle record, of course, for Lyon, or at least get up there. But there's not much that I kind of look for. For me, it's just putting my best foot forward and seeing where I can get to, and just a big thing for me is effort. If I can be the guy giving the most effort on every play, then that's enough for me. So,
Jacob, we've talked about a lot of the exciting things going on, especially on campus and within the program. But one of the new things coming into this season, last year, introduction into the SCAC. This year, the SCAC introduces the SCAC Football Championship weekend, last weekend of the season, War Memorial Stadium, where the SCAC, all 6 teams coming together for that championship weekend. And it's going to be a one-of-a-kind event, a first of its kind, and something that everyone is really looking forward to. And so, just from a student-athlete perspective, is that something that's talked about in the locker room? Does that add a little bit of juice coming into this season? And just sort of, what are you looking forward to most coming into the second SCAC season and the opportunity to be a part of championship weekend at the end of November?
Oh yeah, we're all definitely really excited in the locker room. I mean, we've always grown up seeing games played at War Memorial because, I mean, me and Will are Arkansas guys, so we know a lot about the stadium, and being able to actually play there is going to be a great honor, and we're all super excited to play.
And Keidrick, just kind of wrapping up, final looks from that defensive side of the ball. You've been such a big part of this defense and its DNA over these last few years. When you think about this group and this unit coming into this season and trying to continue to grow, what are your hopes for the defensive side with this team, Keidrick, as one of the leaders? What do you see as some of the goals and some of the sort of ceiling benchmarks that this group can really accomplish coming into this season?
Well, this year I feel like we have the most amount of depth in each position and experience in each position. So we all know the goals that we're looking and striving to achieve this year as a defensive unit. And we've all played together for at least two years minimum with each other. So we all understand the goals and our strengths as a defense in order to play around and with each other in certain aspects. And we don't really. Each week is a different goal, just stop the opponent. Don't let them score. That's really our goal. That's what we want to achieve as a defense.
Coach, it's been fun to listen from your leadership group on the defensive side, talk about their excitement about the depth and sort of the experience and the growth and the maturity that they've come to get to this point. Let's talk a little bit about the offensive side of the ball. Sort of speak to me about, what are you excited about from that offensive side of things? What are some things you're looking forward to? I know last year, you had a lot of looks at guys playing quarterback. So, kind of what did you learn over the course of last year from that offensive side, and what are you looking forward to most with this group going into 2025?
Absolutely. We had several new starters on the offensive line last year. Every one of those guys are back. We had one senior, we graduated right tackle, but he was hurt for a large portion of the year. So a lot of guys having to step in and fill a role. We've got a significant number of reps at that whole core of the offensive line. So we feel really, really good about that. We did graduate a huge and very successful wide receiver core. I mean, it's up to 4 to 5 multi-year starters departed that wide receiver core this year. And so we will be very young there. We'll have some second year sophomores coming back being asked to step into some significant playing roles. And we have some new guys, some new faces that we think can make an impact as well. And, again, we've got some returners that we think can step up, but they'll all be asked to and given an opportunity to see who our top 3 to 4 or 5 guys at that position can be. And running back is very much the same way, with Jalen Babers and Aiden Huntsman, kind of the lightning and thunder type of approach to the run game last year, losing 2 seniors, not having a lot at that position last year left us pretty thin. But we feel really good about the recruiting class that we have coming in at running back. And so really a lot of unknowns in those 2 skill positions, but I feel really good about that core offensive line coming back up front, and I think that can carry us a lot. And then with quarterback, yeah, we got a lot of guys that took a lot of reps last year, not in any way that I would have expected. I don't know that I've ever gone through, Will talked about it, and Keidrick didn't, but we got a lot of guys in a lot of positions that were playing hurt and probably should have been pulled at some point. I've never gone through a season where I've had to play 5 quarterbacks due to multi-game or season-ending injuries. That was a new one for me. I've been coaching for a little while. So we played a lot of guys. The good thing about it is we've got 3-4 guys really that have some game experience. We have 2 guys with a decent amount of game experience. So they'll be, just like it was last year, there will be a battle. There will be just a figuring out of who our QB1 will be. And we'll put the best one out there, and then we will knock on wood and say our prayers and everything else, and make sure that all those guys stay healthy, unlike last year. I think if we can stay healthy with a good core at the offensive line and a guy that can run the offense at quarterback, we'll bring along those running backs and wide receivers. And so we'll keep it simple for them. We'll spoon feed a little bit. But, we've got a good core coming back that I feel really strong that we can protect the passer and we can run the ball.
Finally, as we wrap up with our student athletes, we talked with Coach about the excitement of what it means to have this stadium on campus open up. And, I'm sure it might have started as part of a recruiting pitch, maybe, as the possibility of, hey, we're trying to get a campus, our stadium on campus. And then you see the plans and you think about back to the day of the first time the shovel goes in the ground, and now to see it sort of come to realization and know that, as seniors, you're going to be a part of this first class, this first team that, buckles those chin straps on campus. I'm just interested in the 3 of you, some thoughts on, what that moment, what you anticipate that feeling like before running out of the tunnel for the first time on campus, how excited you're to be a part of this team, and just as seniors, what it's going to mean not only to you and your teammates, but to the community as well, to have, classmates be able to come out of the dorms and be right there and support this group going into the season.
Yeah, so I was actually kind of fortunate to give a speech when we did break ground. I was actually one of the people that got to put a shovel in the ground and everything. So I'm very fortunate in that regard. I was actually talking to a buddy of mine today who's coming back to campus with the students in about a week or so. And he was like, dude, I can't wait for the stadium. I can't wait to be there for the first game. And I mean, everybody I've talked to has been so hype about the stadium. I've been so excited for it. It was one of our recruiting pitches when we got here. It was, hey, you're going to get a stadium in your time here. And I think it'll just be so big for the culture and just kind of everything that we're looking to build. And I said it when I gave the speech last spring, was the biggest thing I'm excited for is just to take the field, be on the field, all the leaves changing colors. It's really so beautiful. It's been our practice field for a good bit, and it's hard to kind of explain it to people unless they actually get to experience it. And when you're on the field, you kind of see that overlook that kind of looks off in the distance. You can see the beautiful sunsets and just all the leaves changing color in the fall. And it's truly going to be a surreal experience, I think, for this entire group and for years coming forward. So I think it's going to be a great thing for the future, but also just going to be so monumental and kind of so much for the group as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, my parents yesterday were on campus looking at the stadium, and they were walking up the bleachers trying to pick their seats, for the season. So, I mean, the excitement is real. I mean, and it's contagious. I mean, everybody that we talk to is, hey, when's the stadium going to be ready? When's your first game? I mean, people that I haven't talked to in a while are reaching out, asking about how the stadium is going to be. And professors even on campus are organizing walking paths over to the game to like get everybody over, and it's just going to be a great time.
Well, me personally, I've been here since fall of 21. I've been waiting on this for a while, and as you can imagine, I play with some of those older guys who are no longer with us, and they even call me back to this day saying, "Man, I'm so jealous you get to play on the new stadium and everything." So, also, I believe that playing on campus is going to give us a greater sense of home. Like Batesville is our home, but Lyon College, this is our home turf, and we're going to have a greater sense of being able to protect that. Something that we're proud of to call ours. So I feel like that's going to give us a different aspect of, energy when it comes to protecting that stadium.
And finally, Coach, as we wrap up with you, this is just such a special time of the season. It's just, as you can hear the excitement on your leadership's group here and hear their excitement going into the season, listening to you talk about this upcoming year and everything that's going on campus. So, just giving you the final thought, the final word, your excitement coming into the year, what maybe we haven't touched on, what maybe hasn't been highlighted. What are some things that you just want these fans to know that are going to be out there supporting this program over the course of the fall, that they can be excited, looking forward to going into the season?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a tremendous group of young men. I think that's number one. In fact, all three of these guys are epitome of a student athlete at the Division III level that they have interest in other areas beyond just football. I mean, Keidrick is running a business. He's running Popeyes. He's been the general manager there, going on a year and a half, 18 months. Both of these guys here are resident assistants. They've been on honor council and social council and you name it. They're just doing so much. And so that's, first of all, we just got some great people. Take the record out, take the stats out, take football out. They're just great individuals, great people, and tremendous work ethics. And then bring in the rest of it with the football side. We've got some really talented athletes as well. And so as part of doing this for so many years, sometimes I'm just in awe of the people I get to surround myself with. And so I'm just excited to be able to take the practice field day one with these guys and call them mine, and they can call me theirs. So we're looking forward to that. And then, obviously when that first game comes around and we'll go down to East Texas Baptist in Marshall for game one and then host Arkansas Baptist here September 13th, it's hard not to look ahead. As a coach, I've got to continue to remind myself, just look at the first day of practice and then let's go from there. But it is really exciting to be able to look toward the near future and then look back at what it's taken to get to this point and just kind of look at awe of it and say, wow, we've been a part of this, good and bad. There's been a lot of bad and there's been a lot of good as well. We've graduated some fine young men that are doing some great things. We've graduated some great players and had some successes here. Now it's time for us to just continue to build on the momentum that's already been formed and the actions that the school has taken, capitalize off of that and make the most of it.
Lyon College football program. Again, the Scots will head into the season under the guidance of head coach Chris Douglas, along with leadership from seniors on the defensive side and linebacker William Litton, along with Jacob Hutto and Keidrick Wooten. Coach Douglas and the Scots will open up the 2025 campaign when they head on the road at ETBU on September 6th. Coach, gentlemen, thanks so much for your time today and best of luck as you head into the season.
Thank you so much, Russell. Yes, sir.